Demonstrators nationwide are continuing their so-called week of outrage. This comes in the aftermath of grand jury decisions not to indict white police officers in the killing of unarmed black men. Demonstrators in Berkeley, California have held some of the most vigorous protests. On Wednesday night, about 150 of them reportedly left the Berkeley University campus and marched to nearby Oakland, California. Police say many of them broke windows and looted stores. This pattern of violent protest began Sunday night with reports of clashes with police and acts of vandalism in Berkeley. Tania Kappner joins us from Oakland, California. Tania is the spokesperson for the organization BAMN, B-A-M-N, which stands for By Any Means Necessary. The organization fights for equality and defends affirmative action, integration, and immigration rights. Tania, welcome to Arise America. Thank you so much for being here.
Hello, good evening.
Tell me a little bit about the climate in the communities there, both in Berkeley as well as Oakland, that has caused protesters there to resonate so strongly with what's happened in Ferguson and New York City.
Yes, well, I mean, we've had, we have a history of both racist police killings. Several years ago, Oscar Grant and the movement for justice for Oscar Grant was the first time a California police officer was jailed for the murder of a black man. There's, University of California, the students are on the one hand facing fee hikes with only 3% black students, and we've got a huge, black community right next door in Oakland, facing really, really separate, unequal conditions of education. So there's a lot of outcry over the police violence, and of course, this grand jury system being used not to even bring trials around Eric Garner and Michael Brown has just been completely unacceptable to, just people of all races here in the Bay Area have been, demonstrating, marching night after night, just saying, this cannot happen. We demand the jailing of Darren Wilson, the other murderous cops, and let's get rid of this grand jury sham.
Tania, there seems to be several distinctive violent acts that have happened in conjunction with the protests there in Berkeley. There have been very little violence in New York and other cities. Of course, we know of the violence in Ferguson. Can you explain why?
Yeah, I would say two things. First of all, the police here have been, extremely militarized over the last time period, using helicopters, armored vehicles, corralling or kettling peaceful protesters and, ordering dismissal and not giving folks places to go to leave time and time again. Basically also last Saturday just shot tear gas at just random UC Berkeley students just trying to be on Telegraph Avenue, the main venue near campus, on Saturday evening, and actually have caused more and more people to join the movement against police brutality because people are saying, we want funding for public education, not students being shut down from their own campus. So I think there's been a whole lot of police violence, and I think that's in no way can be compared to a couple glass windows. But I also think that I stand with MLK, with Martin Luther King Jr. on this question. There's no way we can condemn the violence or anger of youth lashing out against segregation, police killings, murders. To the violence we've seen from the state, and we've got to have a positive change if we want to make sure that that's not our tactic, that's not our strategy. We want a large, determined, independent movement. We want to move forward for a more integrated campus, for jobs, not jail for young people. But we've got to have some justice here if there is going to be any kind of peace in the Bay Area, because the community is just incredibly outraged. Time and time again, the police have shot like rubber bullets at protesters, and just completely unacceptable, police state environment in what historically is an extremely diverse and determined for equality community, both Oakland and Berkeley right next door to each other.
Tania, let me just ask you your perspective on this violence between police officers and unarmed black men. Do you think it is the problem or a symptom of the problem?
Well, it's both. I think it is a huge problem that needs to be addressed. They need to, there needs to be action against police that kill. A badge should not be a license to murder. We had the murder of a young 13-year-old child, Andy Lopez, nearby in Santa Rosa just a year ago. No charges were brought against that police officer who said he thought the toy gun that was not being, pointed at him while the child was in a park, he claimed it was, he thought it was real. There's been cover-up after cover-up and blaming of the victims every time the police assault and kill. So it is, but it's also a symptom of trying to basically clamp down on opportunity. We're seeing cuts to public education. We're seeing, I was the only black student in my program at UC Berkeley. When they took away affirmative action, there's 3% black students, and here we are right next door to Oakland, the heart of the black community out here. It's both. I think it's absolutely both, and we're excited, though, that the people of Ferguson have provided an opportunity for people around the country to stand up for justice, and what we want to come out of this is a new civil rights movement.
Tania, let me quickly ask you before I run out of time with you. As I understand it, there was a so-called tribunal that happened in live streaming between Berkeley and Ferguson. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Yes, yesterday at UC Berkeley, college students and Berkeley high school students who had walked out of school that day, over 1,000 strong, and marched around and joined up with college students and community members. We live streamed from Ferguson with community members and some family members there, basically to get at the truth of what happened to Michael Brown, to stop the demonizing of him, and to talk about how the police treat the community there, get the real truth out. Independent investigations, building the power of the community to demand justice. We're also circulating petitions demanding an end to the use of these grand juries to prevent charges from being brought on cops. We see a real chance to get killer cops jailed out of this, to make young people safer as we build this movement. And so, yes, it was really exciting. Ferguson was very, very excited to see people around the country, of course, still demonstrating, and we are very inspired by their continued fight for justice for Michael Brown.
And it is a testament to how technology influences social issues these days. We're going to have to leave it right there for now. Tania Kappner, thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.